Okay, this is for Wednesday, January 12th. This is our Wednesday night service we'll have tonight at my Father's house. If you can't join us, and you are welcome to join us. We start at 6. I'm pretty sure we start at 6. And go for about an hour. But you can always watch us. Also, we invite you to check us out here. We stream live at our website at mfhlv.com, MFH, My Father's House, Las Vegas, LV.com, and right here on Facebook. So we're going to continue with what happens when we praise and offer an offering to God. And our flagship verse is Psalms 22, verse 22 in the Old Testament, and then we're going to show it in the New Testament because it's referenced in both places. And the verse is, in the King James, I will declare your name unto my brethren. In the midst of the congregation will I praise you. And we talked what the word praise means the last 2 days. And we're going to look at this verse in different versions because it's kind of really interesting to see the different approaches to this particular verse. There's a deep meaning inside of this verse because in the Old Testament, the prophet, the psalmist is prophesying, I will declare your name unto my brethren. He was not speaking of himself. He was speaking of Jesus. It's a prophetic verse about Jesus. I will declare thy name. Whose name is Jesus declaring? The name of the Father. And I'll declare it to my brethren. You and me. In the midst of the congregation will I praise you. Now let's look at some different versions using that verse. This is going to be Hebrews 12:2, verse 12 in the Amplified. So that's the reference. That was the Old Testament verse, Psalm 22, verse 22. And it was referenced from the New Testament verse, which is actually Hebrews 2:12. So now we're going to be referencing it in the New Testament. For he says, this is the Amplified version, I will declare your name, the Father's name, to my brethren. In the midst of the worshiping congregation, in the midst of the praising congregation, in the midst of the person who's offering unto me, I will sing hymns of praise to you. So while we're doing this thing, he is doing it with us. We are not alone in this. There is a voice. It could be an instrument. There is a shine that Jesus is shining in the midst. And he's doing it with us to the Father. And he's declaring the name of the Father to us. That's in the Amplified. For he says, I will declare the Father's name, to my brothers. In the midst of the worshiping congregation, I will sing hymns of praise to you. You are not doing this alone. This is Hebrews 2:12 in the Living Bible. For he says in the book of Psalms, see, it's quoting the Old Testament, I will talk to my brothers, I love this one, about God my Father, and together we will sing his praises. It's an old song that used to go like that. I loved it. I will talk to my brothers about God my Father, and together we will sing his praises. You are not doing this thing alone. And he's talking to you in the midst of you giving an offering to God. In the midst of you praising God, he's doing it with you together, and he's talking to you about God your Father when you give praise to God. Once again, it's in the congregation. It's with someone you're believing with. It's when you're giving something to God. That's what's really going on. And this is in, I think this is Young's literal translation. Hebrews 2:12, saying, I will declare your name to my brethren. In the midst of an assembly, I will sing praise to you. And again, I will be trusting on him. Jesus having to trust on God? Did Jesus have to trust God when he walked on this planet? Like we walk on this planet? Did he have to trust God? We see the evidence about it in the New Testament writings in the Gospels, how Jesus spent a lot of time away with God, where he would just get away and he would move, minister, train, disciple, do miraculous things, and then he would just say, okay, I need to get away with, and we need to seek God. I need to trust God. I need to spend time with my Father. It was very important to him. He often did it early, and it was always like the first thing. But Hebrews 2:12, I will declare your name to my brethren. In the midst of the assembly, I will sing praise to you. And again, I will be trusting on him. Jesus knows what it's like to be in our situation. And we're going to finish up these next 3 days talking about that and why he calls us brothers, why he has that attitude towards us as his brethren. You know, when I worked at this one particular place, they had a habit of calling each other brothers. And I never felt comfortable calling anybody there a brother. I think they thought I was like at a certain level of commitment, because it was a level of commitment they had made. Basically, they made a commitment level that if they had to, they would lay their lives down to do their job. Well, I wasn't at that level. So I always felt a little embarrassed to call them. They call me, hey, brother. And I kind of sit there and I was like, I haven't made the commitment you've made as an organization. I support you, but I haven't made that commitment. So I was always a little embarrassed to say brother to them. But Jesus is not embarrassed to say brethren to us. And it says why here. Mostly it's because of the identifying with us. And we're going to look at Hebrews. Notice it was Hebrews 2:12 has been our verse in the Old Testament. It was Psalms 22, verse 22, and Hebrews 2:12 is the same verse. But we're going to read Hebrews 2:5 up to 11. And then we'll go to 12, and we'll finish this out on Friday. But let's start reading. You got to catch this. Hebrews 2:5. For unto the angels he did not put, I'll read it exactly in King James. For unto the angels hath he not put in subjection the world to come, whereof we speak. He has not put to the angels the world to come to be in subjection to them. So there is a world to come that is going to be in subjection, subject to, underneath, but it won't be angels. Unto the angels has he not put in subjection the world to come that we're speaking about. You need to prepare. As a Pastor Jose said to this year, prepare for more than what you are, more than what you think you are. Prepare for the image of God to explode out of you because it's coming. The world to come is coming. And this world to come is not meant to be in subjection to angels. That's verse 5, verse 6. So I want you to remember the part about being in subjection. Well, who's it going to be in subjection to? Verse 6, Hebrews 2:6. But one in a certain place testified, saying, what is man? That you are mindful of him, that you think about him. That's you and me. What is man, or the Son of Man, that you visit him? And didn't he come and physically visit us in a body? Doesn't he think about us? That he would come and visit us? Emmanuel, God with us? What is man? Verse 7, you have made him a little lower than the angels. That's us. That's how God looks at us. A little bit lower than angels. You and me probably never thought of ourselves in that level, but that's how God looks at us. In fact, the world to come will be put in subjection to man. And this is verse 7. You have made him a little lower than the angels. Talking about man. You crowned him with glory and honor. You set him over the works of your hands. God made the planet. God made the universe. God made the animals. God made all this creation and put it to man. What are you going to call it, man? Are you going to take care of it? made him little lower, crowned him with glory and honor, set him over the work of your hands. More tomorrow, and we'll finish up Friday. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. A kiss to the King.